Sonic Forces is no stranger to being one of the many punching bags in the Sonic franchise, and I'm no stranger to hating on it any chance that I get. Even though it was my first Sonic game, I still don't like looking back on it now. So today, we're going to look at the 3 reasons why I hate Sonic Forces. So without further ado, let's get started. Reason number 1, the writing is weak. If there's one thing I love about a Sonic game, it'll be the story. And even though I care more about the gameplay, I still want Sonic games to have a good and or thought out story because that's also an important part. But in Forces, there's barely anything here to enjoy. Yes, Sonic has almost every story dealing with saving the world, but at the very least, it's thought out and actually makes the characters good. Here, nothing is good about it. The regime, aka Sonic's friends, barely do anything for 6 months, and when they finally act, they aren't even the ones we get to play as. They just sit on the sidelines and watch Sonic and the Avatar struggle. Then we got Classic Sonic, who just shows up for no reason whatsoever. Like, it doesn't even say why he's here unless we're including Mania into this. But even then, he still contributes nothing to the story. I feel like he's only here because of the game being developed by the same people that made Colors and specifically Generations. And that's where the classic milk, patent pending, pretty much started. As for Infinite, I'm saving him for later. Reason number 2, the gameplay is uninteresting. Like I said earlier, the game was made by the same people who made Colors and specifically Generations, and for some reason, they thought that using Classic Sonic would draw eyes to a new project. But that's not the case. In Generations, the mix of 2D and 3D was fun to use because of that plus good level design. In Forces, it just scraps the good level design and instead makes it worse. Classic Sonic is easily the worst part of the gameplay. He's so slow and stiff to the point where it's not even funny. If you've ever played even the first level of Generations, you'll understand that the physics are immaculately better than the ones in Forces. Every time I play Classic Sonic in this game, I genuinely get annoyed. And it doesn't help the fact that one of his levels is an auto-scroller, which is just not the best theme for Sonic regardless of his speed. Then with modern Sonic, his gameplay is just an insult to the word lazy. I know I keep using Generations as an example/comparison every chance I get, but when you do play both, it's just night and day. The boost isn't really the biggest problem in this category, but the fact that you launch up with it in the air definitely contributes to it. The biggest issue with modern Sonic's gameplay is the level design. In this game, everything pretty much pushes you forward, and the boost barely has any challenges to make it fun. This is actually sad, and the fact that they went from Generations to Forces with the boost really just shows that you can't learn from perfection. Reason number 3, Infinite. I was considering putting Infinite in the writing section, but his character is so bad to the point where it required its own section. When you first look at Infinite without knowing anything about him, what do you normally think? Me personally, I would have thought he was on the same level as Mephiles. They have really intimidating powers, have really cool designs, and share the same interest, which is killing Sonic. But what if I told you that the reason Infinite is evil is because Shadow called him weak after packing him up? And it's not even that. It's the fact that Infinite, alongside many other aspects of the game, is just full of wasted potential. Like I said earlier, you have a character with a really intimidating power of bending Sonic's reality and using the Phantom movie to portray himself as an all-powerful being. Yet he barely uses this power to set full potential and gets taken down by the power of friendship. If that isn't unbelievably shameful, I don't know what is. Oh yeah, and he's not even the final boss. You fight him so many times, he's pretty much not even the takeaway from the game. He's poorly written to be one of the strongest Sonic villains ever, all for you to not fight him and instead fight a rehashed Eggman battle ever since Colors. It just really disappoints me because he's supposed to be a real threat and able to kill Sonic no problem, but he was just wasted potential. Tragedy. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I know I just made a whole video dedicated to the bad in Forces, but it still was one of my first mainline Sonic games ever. I thought it was one of the best Sonic games back then, but looking back on it now, I really can't defend this game like I used to. It's kinda sad, but it is what it is. But anyways, I'm gonna end it right here. What are your thoughts on Sonic Forces? And with that, ZayZaz out.